Hello everybody, it's me Tonic TZW and I'm here in the Tier 5 California with a video titled Big Hips Sinks Ships, because this girl is certainly one of the biggest in the game, and we shouldn't size shame because I guess all that extra hippage she has on her gives her a few extra secondary guns along the sides of the ship to play with. This is a stream highlight match, and I'm a little bit behind on creating my videos. I've been really busy the last few weeks, and also grinding for my tier 8 ships as well. So I do apologise that there are other Kraken videos more recent than this on the channel. But I've got a couple of Krakens, some stream highlights. I've got some subscriber videos to come up to, and it all takes time to get up and get made and get on the channel. So bear with me on that one, but keep your eyes peeled for the new stuff coming in. So as I said, this is a stream highlight. I'm in with Full Potato Jack in the Warspite, and we've got Chin Laden, who I think is in the Furious. So we've got two brothers, and unlike a lot of CCs, I'm looking at you, Spartan, we aren't going to go up the middle of the map. We decide against it. We've got the carrier in our division, therefore we have an advantage in that we can talk to our air support, a little bit like a forward air controller in the Army or Air Force, whichever service they are in. But we push out towards ACAB to give our destroyer some support. We've got a Colorado out there. We've just seen a Miyoko running down the flank, trying to stay hidden away. And we start spamming shots. There's our first salvo way out there on the Colorado. And he gets very lucky as both FPJ and I dropped a volley on him. The cap is contested, so obviously one of the red team DDs is out there. Our guy is in a smoke. It looks like he's been spotted and taken a few hits, and we're just waiting for this Colorado to see what he's going to do before we put a turn in, because we don't want to turn full broadside to him before he gets his salvo off. But he's fired. We start our turn. Cap still contested. We know that Miyoko is running down hard and fast on the flank, and Stu and I see him as a bit of a risk. So a bit of orchestrated turns to port there, and we both decide that we want to give this guy a little bit of a golden hello to the game. But he's very wary. He's obviously watching us firing at him, and no sooner are the shells in the air than he starts a turn himself. So he's very clever. Our destroyer is unable to keep him spotted at the moment, so I'm guessing he's still in the smoke screen. Or rather, he's probably dead. Or was that the one from Decap that's dead? I'm not quite sure. It was the Orland, and he does appear later in the game from Decap. In fact, there we go. There's the Yukikaze. So our DD is in a bit of a competition with the Yukikaze, contesting that cap, but he does have a lot of red ships around him that are going to cause him some problems, and before you know it, he is also dead. So we have no destroyers. So Chin is going to have to perform exceptionally well to make sure that we have some eyes in the sky and we're able to keep those destroyers spotted and eventually get them off the map. So Yukikaze's turn on the cap. We decide that we are going to just pop some shots at him. He starts moving as soon as we get those shots away, but we get a cap reset, not a great amount of damage, and we are quite certain that there's going to be torpedoes following our way. Now Chin in his aircraft carriers is absolutely superb, and he will keep harassing that Yukikaze. Red Team Miyoko is using the island for cover. We're looking at where he is. He's backing out of it. Then I just don't realise that his smoke is changing. But we put the shots to the front of him, and he starts moving backwards again. So he's a very clever player. He's very wise. He knows what's going on. We've got a Cali pushing down with a Colorado. We've got the Yukikaze there. And I think it is our Miyoko that is putting fire on him, and I just wish that our Miyoko had done a little bit more a bit earlier in the game to help us. But Chin takes down the Yukikaze with a torpedo, which has got to be a little bit embarrassing. Miyoko still thinks he's safe behind there, but FPGA and I are on his case. FPGA takes half his health, and I slap him from double citadel to claim the first kill of this Kraken. Now we see Leander pushing in out there, it drops detection. We're thinking he's only got AP, but he's got quite rapid fire in AP. And we're looking around to see where the support is and realise that the other side of the map has completely collapsed. The blue team are running away from it, and well, we're going to be fighting a 180-degree battle for the next 9 minutes and 13 seconds. There's the Erland, or the Oland, depends on how you want to pronounce it. We've got a Dallas out there, and there is also a battleship that's going to come around the corner before long. Now, even though I'm a BB captain in this one, I will always try and get some shots at a destroyer when I can. If Chin's going to get him spotted, we're going to try and drop some shots on him. I do apologise if you can hear my tummy rumbling, but I haven't had my breakfast this morning. So I decide that I'm going to push back towards the cap, which seems a bit mad considering the size of the ship I'm in and how slow it is and how slow it turns. The Miyoko, who is probably the best placed ship to deal with that destroyer, decides that he's going to keep sailing away from, well, sailing away from anything that may involve having to fight for your life. But what he is going to do is he is going to sail in and take the capture points, which is about all he is going to do in this game. Excuse me if I sound a bit salty, but you will realise why when we get to the final score screen. I put 2 shots out at the Dallas. I'm currently quite reasonably healthy. We get nothing but overpens and a couple of bounces on the Dallas. We know that Leander is out there on a smoke. The Miyoko is running towards him. I say running towards him. Running towards him or running away from us and the rest of the red team that have pushed that side of the map. Now I know this Erland is out here. I know he's going to be spamming torps at me. And I'm really relying on Chin at this moment in time to do what he can to get that guy spotted, which he does indeed. And as he's got no smoke screen, he can't hide from us when there's planes above him. But he's wary of the shots coming in. We take his engine out, I think it is, and we take half of his remaining health off him. We're bringing our second guns around. We've hit full reverse because there's no doubt that he's putting torpedoes out. There we go. And he's done what I do sometimes and get a little bit trigger happy and fire both sets rather than waiting to see if there's a reaction. But we get 2 turrets on him again. We get those over and he becomes kill number 2. So I've got torpedoes, I've got an Ismail, I've got a Dallas, and I've got 3 fires and a flood, which I have to damcon. And obviously that Dallas is just going to do what a Dallas does. He's going to hide behind that island and he's going to spam HE across the top at me, which takes absolutely 0 skill, but seems very much to be a meta on some of the ships in this game, which is really sad. But even I do it sometimes. So I'm double fired. Those are going to burn for a minute. I've got a minute and 10 on my damage control. So in the meantime, I know the Dallas hasn't got torpedoes. There's no torpedo risk out here to me unless the carrier comes in on me. So we're going to try and do what we can with the Dallas and the Ismail at the same time. So we're going to try and stay angled, get 2 turrets off, and We hit him for a double citadel, but we lose a gun in the process. And that Ismail's going to be a bit of a twat because he's going to take another gun out in the process and shortly take a trip back to port. Thank you, Ismail, for playing. I've just traded, what, 3/4 of my health for a battleship kill, and the Dallas is still out there. Now, I'm asking Chin if he can get this guy spotted. He's going to kite. He's going to be watching for the shots. The Miyoko is closing in, and I'm thinking, give that guy a shout. He's going to realise I'm low health, and he's going to pull will to rebuild. And I did realise that I missed the kill on the Leander, which was a kind of almost blind shot 2 turrets as he set up a smoke screen and killed him. So I apologise for missing that kill earlier on. Rewind the video and watch it again, unless you saw it and I didn't. But there we go, and we get shots out on the Dallas. This is where RNG is going to desert us for a little while. And I'm currently cursing this Miyoko, who is completely oblivious to the fact that I need will to rebuild. And so Chin decides that he is going to bring his carrier in. Now, what the Miyoko was trying to do, after taking a single cap, is he's going to try and steal the kill. But I'm not going to let that happen. There comes the Kraken, and I decide that I need to turn and try and get a cap, but I actually make a mistake and go the wrong way. And this is where we don't win this game, we lose this game. But I take a couple of torps, thankfully not a flood. I'm turning out towards Chin. The Miyoko is pushing back onto our start cap, and he is going to continue sailing all the way around the map. I am the absolute slowest ship, and if you look at the mini-map, we have got a ship chasing, I can't see if it's their carrier or another battleship, but I think it's a battleship. He has literally chased that ship all the way up the map, even though we don't have a cap advantage. He's completely ignored turning into that cap, and well, this potentially is another place that cost us this game. But the Serov is out there. We've got him spotted. He's pushed round for the cap. Ideally, that Miyoko should go full chat now through the left-hand cap and just get onto that carrier while Chin gets him spotted and harasses him. There's still a toe-to-toe battleship going on in the bottom right-hand corner of the minimap with the Gnais now, and I just don't know what those guys were playing at. Whether they were friends on opposite teams and they decided to have a toe-to-toe, I don't know. But I've obviously had to rely on Chin for my will to rebuild, and that means that I'm not in a position to get shots on this Serov. But the Miyoko should be able to see him, and really, with all the health he's got, he needs to be guns. But I think Chin was saying at this point that he was turning and trying to get torpedoes on. Yeah, it baffles me. It baffles me. Like I said, you can't figure out what some players are thinking. You know, the Miyoko's gone onto the cap. You don't have to sit in one spot to take a cap. You can sail through it and push and get yourself in a position where you know that enemy carrier is, and you can get fire onto it. Just keep going. And this Serov is going to be laughing himself all the way back to port at the end of this game when he gets the results screen up. We decide we're going to push through. I want to see if I can get far enough ahead that I can get a shot across the top here. But the clock is ticking down. We are, 50 points behind. Miyoko does get The cap turned, and I'll say it again, it's pretty much his entire contribution to this game. Chin gets some torps out, but literally as the last few seconds tick away at the game, I have no idea why that Miyoko is not gunning that Serov down as fast as he can. The game ends. I have the Kraken, I have Fireproof, and I have Dreadnought, and I think I earned all three of those medals. But as you'll see from the results screen in a second, Serov, if you missed it as the match ended there, he did the unthinkable, and he picked himself up a solo warrior. So Roger the Cat, congratulations on that one. I finished second place. The Miyoko obviously managed to bag top spot with his 2 solo caps. Cheers for that, Miyoko. But there we go, Kraken number 85. If it's your first time past the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I got plenty content coming. We'll be live streaming Monday, Wednesday and Friday for the next few weeks. So until then, take care and goodbye.